Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some. This is Johnny B. Now, a little while ago, I had received some criticism as I called the NeoCons out, and of course, I called the crooked Democrats out in regard to what was going on in Syria. Have you seen their story change? Oh, by the way, like my new glasses, do I look more distinguished now? All right. President Trump did something that was so out of the ordinary that nobody even thought of it. Here was the plan all along. On the southern border of Turkey, he had discussed with his people as well as President Trump, because remember, he was over at the White House not even a month ago. And he discussed that he has approximately up to 4 million refugees. Okay? And Syrian refugees, but not just Syrian refugees, but Kurdish people. Okay. And we're not talking the PKK. We're not talking these communist people. There was a discussion, I'm sure, of getting rid of these particular Kurds. Okay. These evil communist type of or faction of the Kurdish people that were set in by Barack Obama. Whenever you heard the media or the NeoCons talk about the PKK, they never mentioned the PKK. What they mentioned was Kurds. So there was an assumption, because they kept saying the Kurds are helping us, the Kurds are helping us. No, it was a certain faction. So people were wondering, why was President Trump that first week just allowing Turkey to come in and just slaughter the crap out of them? There's a couple of reasons. One, it wouldn't look good for America to do it, would it? Two, he's done what he wanted to do all along. Get his soldiers to come back home. But he also wants the people that are going to be the refugees that are going to come back, he wants them to have a source of revenue. Okay? He spoke about that. He says that he wants the U.S. soldiers to protect the oil for those Kurds so that they have money. And that's what's happening right now, is we are having U.S. forces go in and protect the oil so that Turkey doesn't mess with it, so that Russia doesn't mess with it, so that China doesn't mess with it, and mostly so that Iran doesn't mess with it as well. 28 U.S. soldiers were actually protecting that area before. Okay. It's not enough to be overtaken. They could have been overtaken, but it would have looked bad. And for Turkey to do so, that's why they said, yeah, you got to let go. You got to go. So what President Trump did was he allowed Turkey to come in, get rid of this communist faction that has been fighting Turkey for centuries. And now they're going to build a 20-mile perimeter. And it's going to be along the whole northern border. Syria wants that. Iran wants that little corridor all the way to the Mediterranean. They want that really bad. And it's going to be prevented by Turkey. I'm not going to allow it. That's going to be the Kurds. That whole area is going to be the Kurdish people. And now they're going to have a source of revenue, money. They will be protected by both Russia and Turkey. It was a brilliant move. And now nobody's talking about it. The NeoCons, even people like Lindsey Graham had to come out and say, that was the most brilliant move. Yeah, we'll have to give it to him. That was a brilliant move. Yeah, it was. So now they'll go back onto their whole Ukraine Gate. But they're going to start panicking. Well, they're panicking now. Because now federal indictments are actually being handed out. And people like Brennan, Clapper, Stroke, Page, all these people are panicking. Because they know that there was at least one flip. But they knew there's a few more. Okay? Who flipped? Okay? And the Horowitz report is coming out, showing that the whole FISA application and the whole, and that was all John Brennan's baby. And you're going to find out that these Democrats were lying all along. I've been telling you that for 3 years. Remember, Democrats will lie, cheat, steal, defame, demean, degrade, deceive, maimand, or kill to win. I say it so much. It's so true. Okay? And it's going to go all the way to the top. All the way to Hillary Clinton. All the way to Barack Obama. Barack Obama at this point feels like an untouchable. Hillary Clinton at this point appears to be an untouchable. But she's scared. And I believe that's going to be one of the reasons why she runs. I think she's going to run for presidency because she's going to say, this is my only safety net, is to run. Because then she can flip a narrative and sit there and say, President Trump is coming after me and his political opponents. So I do believe that is her safety net, is to run for presidency so she could use a narrative like that. It won't work, but I mean, only people that will believe this crap will be the Democrats and the liberals and the communists that follow the Democrat Party. Like I told you, if you're still a Democrat to this day, you are dumber than dog shit. You just are. You're just so indoctrinated. There's no helping you. Just sit back, get some tissue, cry, scream, shout, do what you did when Trump won. Okay. Explain to your other liberal family members how life isn't fair and how democracy is being ruined. Okay. We are going to restore this republic, and in the meantime, as the republic is going to be restored and its good name is going to be restored, other countries around the world are going to take note. You're seeing it. Okay, Brazil is taking note. Look what's going on, by the way, in Chile. I spent 6 weeks there. I know that place in Santiago. And I said back in 2016 when I was there, I said that was the most depressed country I had ever been to. It was It was more depressed than actually Indonesia. It was the disparity between the haves and the have-nots was just, ugh. And I hate even using that expression because that sounds so cultural Marxist. That sounds so Saul Alinsky-ism. But the leftists who watch the show will understand it. But the disparity between classes is disgusting. And they're being run by a socialist, communist dictator over there in Pinheiro. So, and by the way, one of the wealthiest men in the world. What's he number? He's a billionaire. He's worth over $3 billion. How did he get all that money? So, just watch. Okay? Watch how things are happening and progressing. Trump gets the first part of an agreement with China. I'm not sold on it yet. I think China really needs to be so distraught financially. They were paper rich, and Trump is making sure that they really, really feel it. Okay, and it is really imperative that you put a stranglehold on China, because I believe over the last 25 to 30 years, China was the main aggressor in trying to affect the United States. Not Russia, China. Okay. Look at where China was 25, 30 years ago. Look where they are now. Look who they made arrangements with. Okay. And so forth. Just look at things, the progression of it. And you may agree with me there. I think there's Maoists in our political party. And I believe that much of the Democrat Party are treasonous to the core. And I think it's going to come out. You're going to start seeing it. You're going to start seeing many of these people that were part of the Obama administration. They're going to start sweating. Okay? The Holders, the Rices, okay, the Clapper, Comey, all these people. You think Comey was a real Republican? Please. Rhino at best. At best. Don't you find it interesting that these supposed rhinos who everyone thought were Republican, are now all major Democrat now, which has gone so far left? Bill Kristol, George H.W. Bush was. All these people. I'm going to vote for Hillary. Really? Why would you vote for that? Brennan was a converted Muslim. Okay? Speaks fluent Arabic. Okay? He is a communist. Voted for communists. How the hell was he the director of the CIA? Okay. There's a lot to take in. But as we start to take it in more and more, you're going to start seeing the Democrats. This is the time to actually watch some things at CNN, because I want people to start seeing the spin, because they are trying to change the narrative before the Horowitz report comes out and before before John Durham actually starts convening a grand jury to arrest these sons of bitches. Okay, they're scared, and they should be, because they tried to overthrow this country, and they need to be put to death. Okay, every single one of them. Treason, there's only one outcome. That's why I say that. If it was life sentence, then I'd say then they need to be in jail for the rest of their lives. But treason, there's only one outcome: death, and they need it. They need it to restore our country. People like Brennan, Clapper, Obama, all these people, they need to be put to death. Okay? Peace out.